So far, we've taken a look at how Liferay has its own OSGI container. We've talked about Liferay Workspace as a way of creating Liferay applications with OSGI in mind. Now let's talk about these things called Liferay modules. Now I may have said modules a few times already, and we're going to be talking about why do I use the term modules sometimes and bundles. So we're going to bridge that gap. All right, so when we create plugins or we create applications within Liferay, we call them Liferay modules. Now, technically speaking, a module and a bundle are almost the same thing. So we like to use, or I shouldn't say we, but we can use those terms interchangeably. When I learned about OSGI, I learned with the term module. Now, most of the time, when you're in Liferay documentation or standard OSGI documentation, more often you're going to see the term bundle. But when we talk about Liferay modules, we're just talking about plugins we can develop in the Liferay world. Modules, components, modules and bundles, pretty much the same thing. Now, when we're creating Liferay modules, we can create them using a specific template, right? This is where Blade CLI is going to come into play. Now, if you're developing for previous versions of Liferay, you can create different project templates like hooks or Liferay portlets or Liferay plugin projects, for example. All of the ones that you see here as bullet points, for the most part, are legacy, at least these four bottom ones for the most part. The top two are still relevant today with workspace and module fragment template. Now, we can also create components using Liferay workspace as well. When we create a component within Liferay, we can take advantage of some of the templates that Blade CLI has to offer for us. So as you can see here within this screenshot, we can create components based off of a specific template, like a portlet or an MVC portlet, for example. Right, we can again use Blade CLI in the command line to create our templates. We can first take a look at what templates are available using Blade create-L, and then we can create the template we want using Blade create-T, followed by the template we want to use. From there, we can then provide a project name, specify a component name, and the package that the component will exist in. So whichever way we go, right, we can either use the UI in Liferay Developer Studio, or we can use the command line using Blade CLI. Either way works. Right. Now, if you want to use Maven, right, you can use Maven as well. Right, we can then list out all of the Maven archetypes. It's going to help us create our Liferay projects with Maven in mind. Again, all of the examples that we're going to be working with is going to be using Gradle. All right, so with all of that in mind, we're going to go ahead and take a look at how we can create a Liferay project using a Liferay module template in mind. So what we're going to be doing is from the UI of Liferay Developer Studio, we're going to be creating a module project and using a template. Behind the scenes, that UI is going to be calling Blade to get that template for us. So Blade is really the star of the show, but Blade is behind the scenes doing all of the heavy lifting. So we're first going to create a new Liferay module project using the form field template. After that, we're just going to deploy it, and then we're going to see our project in action. So it's going to be pretty simple, but we're going to be seeing how Liferay Workspace is going to help us out with all of this.